Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I'm actually going to talk about this in therapy, which is, I think I bet on the wrong horse, and I never got off that horse for way too long, and now I feel like my life is in misery because of it. We were born in a very specific era where it was before the internet was a thing when we were like children.
Yeah.
But then it became the most encompassing part of anyone's lives when we were teenagers. We saw people like famous internet people get their breaks and get careers off of the internet, and we thought we could do that too. Being fooled under the impression that it was due to hard work, creativity, and not just random fucking RNG potluck, you know? Yeah, not everyone's going to be a Dan and Phil. Not everyone's going to be an Anthony Padilla. But sometimes you just do it, you work the grind, and you're just not good enough, and it sucks. And you think that's going to be your career? No. Should have gone into a trade instead. You know what people need? Houses. You should have learned how to build a house instead. No, instead you wanted to learn how to edit videos, because it's a fucking fun thing to do. Fuck you. Clueless child. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant I didn't mean to go on. I'm sorry, that's just kind of where my head's at the moment.
That was a preview for therapy.
It kind of is, because I just think it's such a fucking horrible decision to make. And I've realized that way too late, and I really should have chosen a different career path. But then maybe we wouldn't be friends as a result, so I don't know. Maybe there's something to this.
I do think that being around for the Wild West / industrial era of the internet was insanely dangerous for adolescent minds.
I was fooled into thinking that it could be my life, and it was sustainable and reliable and worthy of pursuing. But no, turns out it's none of those things, and you really should have only done it as a hobby to, I don't know, accounting, or something that the actual real world needs as a profession.
Right. I mean, it's turned out to be like a stepping stone for some creators, but also at the same time, you see so many people flame out anyway that it's like, oh, this actually was never sustainable. And the rare creator / channel that is still around from when we were watching on like YouTube in 2008, that's not the norm.
No, a lot of people got very lucky because we were in exactly the right place at the right time, and it's a mystical science of bullshit a lot of the time that we could have never understood because we didn't have any world experience. We were teenagers. We didn't know any better.
Yeah, plus the internet seems to have its own, like, immune system for filtering out people after a certain amount of time. Very few creators from the era that we grew up in are still around because they were the only ones that avoided controversy in any way.
And even then, if they avoid controversy, they just decide to pack up their bags and not do it anymore because the passion isn't there. And oh, who would have fucking thought?
Yeah, or it's just like, hey, I can feel my mental health slipping. I'm gonna go. And it's like, I can't blame you.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip. Like, this isn't worth doing at all. And I'm speaking for myself here, but I was nearly there at various points over the last decade, so I completely get it.
I mean, that is basically what happened to me. Just unofficially.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, just in the sense of like...
You're that guy Carmine. You have the JoJo's roulette things. You were very famous in that niche way, but then...
I was just gonna say, I feel like that was like the tipping point. Because at first it was cool. It was like, oh wow, I'm actually getting a following for the first time in my life. Like, this could be a thing. This could be like really helpful. This could be a jumping off point. And then I realized that the internet wants one thing over and over until you die. They don't care what happens in between.
Not even until you die. It's until they get bored of that one thing and then they move on. So you could still be making the same thing for like 20 years. If they get bored in the first 5, you're fucked. That's it. You're done.
Right. It's either until they get bored of it or until it drives you crazy. And for me, it was the latter.
You were already kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it was like a depression crazy.
Yeah, there's different levels, isn't there?
It was like, because here's what happened. It was fun to do those videos at first, obviously. And then once it became an expectation, and more specifically, like, they were demanding it. Like, I would post videos that were not that, and all the comments would just be like, hey, you should do this for your JoJo Roulette. Hey, do a JoJo Roulette about this. Do this really unfunny thing for JoJo Roulette. Do Family Guy for JoJo Roulette. Every video. And it was like, oh, I can't. It's making me hate it.
You drew in a crowd that you hated.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I hate TikTok now. I don't know what happened. A switch in my brain has flipped and I now hate social media.
TikTok barely stays for me only because it's not all... So much of it is garbage. But
yeah,
there is a percentage of it that is just the harmless, absurdist, goofy humor that I like. And then every once in a while there's some like actually important information that it's like, all right, cool, I can spread this around. Anyway, moving on. It's like so not influential in my life, which is good because that's, I think, when you lose your mind. And it's like the only social media I have left. I don't use Twitter. I've never used Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I'm on Reddit. I don't even think that's a social media. To me, I just look at what's there.
It's a social media as much as a regular forum is a social media. I don't really count it as that because I don't do it for the social aspect. I do it for getting news and updates on society that I don't want.
Basically. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I use it for sports. That's really it.
Sports, yeah, that's it. I use it for wrestling. I use it for wrestling. And that's
I used to
basically
use
it.
it for football, but I don't use it for football anymore.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Yeah, because fuck football, honestly.
That's mind-blowing to me that you're able to say that. I mean, I get it, but this is you. I've known you as the football guy for our entire friendship.
The sport is still good. I still love the game that is football, but football unfortunately only exists through the NFL, which is a shit house.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I only ever stayed surface level, and I'm like, oh, it's that one game of the year that I can watch, and yay, my team lost. Ah, well, better luck next year.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it that way. If you limit yourself to one game a year, you might be better off.
Maybe. And maybe it shouldn't be the Super Bowl.
No, definitely not.
Because that was a nightmare. That was actually one of the least entertaining... Not even just the game. Like, I had so much anti-fun during that experience.
As someone who claims to be a fan of the Chiefs, saying that out loud has got me a lot of derision, and I'm like, why are you mad that this team keeps winning because it isn't your team? Maybe if your team was better, they would win more. You're just upset that your teams don't win.
The hate against the Chiefs, I didn't really understand. Apparently, a lot of people are not happy with the Mahomes brigade because apparently a lot of them are Trumpers.
I don't associate myself with that part of it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, honestly. When it comes to the sport, the Chiefs don't bother me. They didn't do anything. They just win. Except for the last one.
Yeah, apparently that was very cathartic for everybody else, so I think, well, at least you had some happiness from it, but I don't really care.
Yeah, everyone but me, because it was the fucking Eagles. It had to be the Eagles, of all teams.
What are you talking about? You love the Eagles. Look at it. He loves them. He hates them.
That was my love noise.
You gotta respect that.
It also doesn't help that, like, I am stuck supporting a team that they suck.
I mean, we've had this conversation before. You're not at all stuck. You just choose to be.
There is like you do get emotionally hooked onto a team if the fandom connection is there enough. And for me with the Giants, it totally was. Even if I choose to like watch another team all year, like the Lions or whatever, the Giants are always going to be in the back of my head.
I mean, I would understand it if the team stayed the same from start to end, but because it's a very ship of Theseus moment, I don't care. Like, the coaches have all been replaced, the players have all been replaced. Why do I give a fuck about it?
It's sort of like you get attached to the brand.
I just
like
love the blue and the white and the red. I love the letters NY.
To be fair, I do.
And you're no worse for liking it. I just think additional brain cells might benefit you.
Yeah, I just wish they would win. Sometimes.
Don't we all wish that our losingest teams would ever win? Me, the Jaguars fan, you know, I get it.
At least my teams in some sports are doing okay.
I hate sports.
Why?
That's just me being contrarian. I just genuinely don't really care about most sports. I am extremely surface level on the ones that I do enjoy. Professional wrestling is not a sport to me, so that doesn't count.
It's a television show about a sport, but it's not a sport. There's really not much good sports going on.
Do you ever worry that we've become bitter old men?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it fits the name of the show, doesn't it?
That is true. Speaking of which, that feels
oh my god,
good.
Where are
natural...
we? Where am I?
It's a good natural
It's been 2
point
years.
to walk back into this dusty room.
It's just made of dust.
Just everything in here is dust now.
The furniture is dust. The light is dust. We're all but dust in the end.
Just dust, breathing dust.
Let's blow into the room and figure out what the fuck we're doing, huh?
You just blow in and it's just like...
No better introduction, really, than what we've just cooked up there. That's really good.
Yeah, welcome back to the Bitter Chatter podcast.
Is it welcome back, or is it just, this is a eulogy? Like, I don't know what kind of mindset we're doing here.
All I know is this is a thing that is happening right now, and whatever happens after this, I have no idea what that's going to be.
The planets have aligned for the first time in 2 years.
It has been since December of 2022.
Well, it's good a time as any to dive into our next episode. Do you want a quiz about the memes of 2022?
Oh god, are you serious?
I wrote that as an episode for us to do, a quiz about 2022 memes.
Oh wow. Do you still have it anywhere?
I probably do. I never get rid of anything, but it was like 12 questions, all of which were like about a month, and then the meme of that month, you know. We went in depth for it. Damn. And now here we are in, let me check my watch, 2025.
Yup, 3 months into it. Almost 4 months into it by the time this actually comes out.
Oh, boy.
It's, yeah. It's been a minute. Hello.
Where have we been? I don't even know. Who are you?
I don't even know anymore.
Who am I?
I think I'm Chatter and you're Bitter.
Is that how we used to do this?
I think so.
Anyway, let me dial up the impression. Welcome to Bitter Chatter. He's Bitter, I'm Chatter, and what are we doing today? Well, today we're doing a thing that I don't...
Today we're honestly just going to talk about the last 2 years.
Yeah, this is a very special episode of Bitter Chatter. Sometimes you get these things where they are just one-offs, and then whatever happens afterwards happens afterwards.
Yeah, this might be the last episode we ever do. We might do another one in 2 years. It might reboot the entire series. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. We're just here right now. That's all I know.
The time has aligned in such a way where you and me can sit down and record a podcast in the year 2025.
It is 2025. Fuck my life.
We've been friends for 11 years.
Oh yeah. God damn it.
We're old.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Remember when we were young and dumb and full of hope?
Thank goodness that went that way. Yes, I remember when we did Raw review for the first time.
And now we're old and dumb and
we're
full
on
of sadness.
We're on our fourth failed show.
Hey, it's not failed. What are you saying?
Well, failed in the sense that we couldn't even keep up with it.
Oh, we're not billions of views deep. I'm so sorry. We haven't been able to entertain the masses that don't deserve it. Wow.
Because we both took turns, and I think at some points we're at the same time in our different, separate, massive, depressive episodes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, therapy is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I was able to do it for a little bit. I think it was helping.
I did 2 separate events of it, and both of them helped, but then more problems emerged.
Yeah, that's the fun part about being almost 30. We're almost 30, by the way.
Don't even remind me about it. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to let that cat out of the bag.
I turned 30 in just under 2 weeks.
Oh, so he carbon dates it. Okay, do you even respect my wishes and opinions anymore?
Well, I was just thinking out loud about myself. I could do yours.
Nah. Let's leave that to the side there.
Yeah.
Although we still like each other. We're still friends. Was that ever in doubt?
No, I don't think so.
Not from me. I'm talking to them.
No. Yes, I don't know. Well, I'd be curious. I wonder if anyone listened to this like every week, and then when we stopped, they were like, "Oh man, they must have like killed each other or something."
I'm gonna be real with you. We are no longer friends. There was a really bad time with some egg salad.
Dude, I made scrambled eggs this morning.
I don't think I can describe the elation and joy that you called them scrambled eggs just now to me, to my face.
I don't know what you mean.
I think that's character development, and I'm very happy, and I'm proud of you.
I have no idea what you're talking about or referring to.
Fantastic. Let's leave it at that then.
Good. I don't want to do this bit.
No, let's not dig any deeper on that because it will piss me off and make me hang up the call. We don't want to do that today. We finally got our shit together and we don't want to ruin it in 20 minutes by just going back to the old shit. I say the old shit, we do have people who listen to the episodes still to this day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a couple people that I know one person that I know that still goes back and listens to one on occasion.
I think it's nice, but then I also think, I'm sorry, we weren't that good. So I don't know why you've decided to enjoy this.
It's so crazy because in the moment, every one of those episodes, I was like, this is definitely one of the better hours or so of audio we've recorded. I'm okay with this. I enjoy this. I'd be able to listen to it the week it came out. Now, if I tried to listen to one of those, I'd want to kill myself.
I pick up on every single and like that I've ever said in those hours, and I think, learn how to talk, you podcaster. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you like this?
For 10 years?
And I still can't form a coherent sentence that is pleasurable to listen to. But you know what? We're gonna feel this exact same way when we listen back to this in several years.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just how it is. You think I was shit. Eternally. You never think you've improved. You always think, oh, that was bad. I'm better now. When you flash forward a few years and you're like, God, I was shit then, but I'm good now, right? Right?
Now's gotta be better, right?
It's not. It never will be. And maybe that's a therapy thing, but we'll figure that out as it goes. 2 truths and a lie. Let's go.
Yeah, so we're going to do some 2 truths and a lie for the last 2 years and just see, get a good
That's all, folks.
Jumping off point. We'll get a jumping off point to talk about shit for the rest of the episode. And then I think we both have a couple of little mini segment things to bring to the table here.
Yeah, why not?
So let's get started with the truths and a lie. You want to kick us off here?
I will present you with 3 statements. You have to tell me which 2 of them are true, which one of them is a lie. If you've played this game before, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, I'm so sorry.
If you haven't, you're probably a child.
In which case, stop listening, and I hate you. Go away.
Goodbye, children. I hate you.
All-timer moment.
What do you got?
I've subscribed to YouTube Premium. I've lost 15 kilos on a keto diet. I've had a vasectomy. Which 2 of these statements are true?
That last one feels so out there compared to the other 2 that it feels like it must be the lie.
Well, you know my opinions about children and how I hate them.
It does track with how you feel about children and how much you hate them, so it's possible. Now, YouTube Red...
No, YouTube Premium.
Money. Oh, right, Premium. Wow, that just shows where my brain is.
Your brain is 10 years ago, what the fuck? It hasn't been YouTube Red in a long time.
I know. That is proof of the fact that I still listen to Game Grumps compilations that are old enough that they still called it YouTube Red in those footages, and it has infected my brain. Also, those footages, great words. We're definitely on fire today.
You didn't have to mention it! We could have just moved forwards. It's just fine. Shut up.
No, I like calling myself out. It's fun. Alright, so YouTube Premium, 15 kilos or a vasectomy. I don't know how much 15 kilos is.
It's about 33 pounds.
That's a good amount. But it's possible. I think you've lost weight. But has it been that much?
You also haven't seen me in 5 years.
Well, in person, yes, but I've still seen images of you.
Images of me which I don't like to post anymore because I like privacy more than I do putting myself out there, which is funny that we're doing this in the first place, but fuck it.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not a video show. God.
Thank God.
YouTube Premium does cost money, which I know you don't like spending.
I hate spending money, but I do it anyway.
That is true. You don't like ads.
Ads are the worst, especially on YouTube.
They are pretty bad. This could really go either way. I'm still going to go with the vasectomy. I don't think you've done that yet.
You'd be correct.
Yeah! So you got YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
I've never had it. How is it?
It's life-changing.
Is it really?
Yes. It's so good. I fucking hate that I enjoy it so much. What happened was, I didn't go into it expecting to pay for it. In January this year, I was given the opportunity, for whatever reason, to have a 2-month trial period of YouTube Premium.
Ah.
So for January and February, I used it, and as soon as it ended, I was like, oh, fuck. I can't go back.
I need more of that.
It's impossible to go back for me, because not only does it get rid of ads on all platforms, which is fantastic. I no longer have to watch 5 seconds of a stupid advert that I hate before watching the thing that I want to watch.
Sometimes I'll like put on YouTube videos to go to sleep. The worst is when I'm not asleep yet and I get one of those ads that's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, like that in itself is enough reason to get the service. But what's done it for me is the ability to not only download videos, but to have them play when your phone is locked.
See, now, I have a workaround with that part that I don't know if it works for everybody. I have no clue, but it works for me. So, like, I'll have YouTube open, playing a video, and I'm on an iPhone. So if I swipe up to, like, get out of the app and go to my home screen, it puts it in a little mini window up in the corner. If I close my phone, like lock my phone, and then tap on my AirPods to get it to play again, it will just keep playing the audio from the YouTube video.
Wow, it's good that you have that. I didn't, and fuck you. So I now have, for whatever reason, my Spotify time has been cut in half, and I couldn't tell you why. It's not like I've just been listening to Dan and Phil videos for the past 2 straight months.
You know what? Fair enough.
You need comfort to get through this horrible world that we're in right now, so I don't think it's a bad investment. It's £12.99, which is a lot.
It is hefty.
It's double Netflix, it's double Crunchyroll, it's double a lot of different services. But I no longer subscribe to the WWE Network, so I feel like that's a good offset.
Ooh. Well, I mean, technically you don't need to anymore.
It doesn't exist here anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's all on... Is it basically all on Netflix now?
The parts that I care about, yeah. Oh no, I won't be able to watch Anarchy in the Arena. I won't be able to watch 1997 ECW. Oh no, fuck off. I want to watch the shit today. I don't care.
Anyone who wanted to watch all that legacy stuff, they did it when the network first came out.
Yeah, and they're uploading it to YouTube as a fucking separate YouTube channel anyway, so I don't actually care. Plus, I'm able to watch this shit as it happens. They do it live. I've never been able to do that before.
Yeah, there you go.
Because even on the network, they added shit a month after it happened. I'm like, well, what's the point of this?
And then do they still do the... I don't even know what they call pay-per-views anymore, but was it premium live events?
Yeah, PLEs. I still call them pay-per-views, though, because I'm old.
Is that on Netflix, or is that on Peacock?
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and premium live events. They're all on Netflix. For $6.99 a month, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, that's not bad at all.
You get more things for half the price. For me, that's a steal.
Can't argue with that. That's math, baby.
So yeah, YouTube Premium is life-changing, and I hate that that's a thing.
Well, at least it's good. At least it's a positive.
It is a positive that I'd rather not pay that much money for, but it's a positive.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is still pretty hefty. Tell me about the keto diet.
It's miserable. Don't do it.
You know, I actually did do keto like a few years back for a little bit.
A little bit. How long?
I don't know. It was a few months. I got sick of doing it.
I did hardcore keto for at least a year.
A year? Well,
that's how I lost 15 kilos.
It does work, from what I can tell.
Yeah, it sure fucking does. It really does, and I'm very happy about it. Nowadays, I've been kind of lax about it, and I've been having more carbs, but I'm still happy. I could be happier, and we will get there if we want to.
There you go.
I'm a shit ton better than I was this time 2 years ago. Clothes fit now. I look good.
I would say so. And that's good. I need my clothes to fit, so I might have to start doing that shit again. The only thing is, I remember when I did it, Yessie has a very sensitive sense of smell. She has the sense of smell like a dog. It's insane. I don't know how she can smell certain things.
That's brilliant.
And she told me that when I was on keto, I apparently smelled way worse.
I mean, cauliflower does smell bad.
I don't know. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm not going to argue it. Apparently, that was true.
Don't be under the impression that starting a keto diet will make you happy, because you will be miserable. You will be sad, but you will also lose weight. Any
diet, especially one that's like, hey man, hate to break it to you, you shouldn't eat carbs. Yeah, they're going to make you miserable.
Everybody is different, and you should never take anyone's advice. You just need to figure out what is best for yourself, and I did, and it worked for me. I won't say it'll work for anybody else, but it's fine. Nothing tastes as good as being skinny feels.
I should put that on a fucking poster.
I think that's a Mean Girls quote or something. I don't know. It's just a thing that's out there.
This goes to show I've never seen Mean Girls.
Oh, you dick.
Nah, it's always
still haven't seen a film. You still haven't seen
No.
a fucking single film in your life.
No, and the funny thing is I was a film student and I've never watched a movie. It was the greatest scam I ever pulled.
Can't believe it.
I don't even know what a movie is. That joke landed great. So
I don't know what to say to that. How do I go forwards? You tell me, Mr. Comedy Professor.
No, if anything, I'm ridiculing my own joke because it clearly didn't work.
It's okay that things just stop and then you move on. You don't have to be like, well, that sucked anyway. Like, come on.
You don't like seeing your own failures?
No, I don't. I'm over that period now. I want to sit in my successes, actually. Which is exactly why I'm doing this bit of chatter with you.
My greatest success.
Yep, absolutely. Hit me with 3 things about yourself and
sure.
You wizard.
All right, here are my statements. I was cast in a student film. I went to Portugal. And I graduated from college.
Aren't all of those true?
No, one's a lie. That's the game.
You understood the game, right? You meant to tell me one lie. Yeah.
One of them is a lie.
Okay, it's a technicality. I know for sure that you've been to Portugal. I was very jealous because it looked like a fun time.
Okay.
90% of that holiday was eating, right? I remember that.
Well, I can't confirm or deny yet.
Did you? Oh, come on. Play the fucking game.
The game is yours to play now.
What was the third thing?
What was the third thing? I'll just say them all over again. So I was cast in a student film, I went to Portugal, and I graduated from college.
Well, I know you graduated from college.
Well, then if you're so sure, that just leaves one option.
You made a student film.
But
I don't think you were in it. I think you were just the man who was not in it. I think you did everything but being in it, right? I remember, because that was part of the reasons of the downfall of this show, was that you were always busy doing that shit.
Yeah, that was busy time. Yeah, my thesis was, holy shit, it felt like 5 years of my life.
I'm gonna go with you were cast as the lie because you made it instead.
Yeah, I've technically not been cast in anything ever. I was on such a technicality in my own student film, but not in a cast role. I was literally in a car. You could not see me. I was the driver that kills the protagonist.
You were caught in the mirror and you became Killer Bob.
Basically.
Brilliant.
But yeah, no, I have not been cast in anything. I do like acting, but I have not been cast in anything. And I did go to Portugal and I did graduate from college. So the college one is interesting because I was... That was in May, or like the last day of May 2023. And I'm gonna be 30 in 2025, so I was 28. Pretty late as far as college graduates typically go. It didn't give me a complex at all. As you can tell, I'm totally fine with it. Yeah, that was a weird time. That was actually like the jumping off point for my worst of my depression. Because it was like, okay, I spent years focusing on this film school thing, and I was like, I'm going to be an editor, and that'll be my practical job to get me into the industry, and then I'll be fine. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And the longer it didn't happen, the worse I got, baby.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was
I think it's a universal feeling, though. I don't know if it'll help you feel better or not, but there's that sense of people. I don't know what you'd call it. There is a term for it, but it's like you've done a big thing. Your whole life was about that thing, and then what? After it's done, you know?
I mean, that is exactly how it felt, though. It was like you've done a big thing, and then just like months of silence.
Because that's how life is. It keeps going. It doesn't ever stop. It doesn't ever go fast. It is just going all the time, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. And of course it didn't help that the fact that like the situation that I was in my general life at the point of graduation, I wasn't exactly thrilled with. Didn't love my job, didn't love my day-to-day routine, didn't love that I felt like shit every day. So when that didn't change for like almost 2 years, I was like, hey, that bridge is looking great.
Don't I know how that feels?
Never actually got to that point, obviously, but...
I mean, I got to the bridge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was more
jump,
enthusiastic
obviously.
than I meant to sound about that.
Yeah? Did you? Did you really?
Yeah. How was it?
It was very cold that day. It was very tall, but we're here now, so whatever.
Well, that's good.
Don't worry about it. I'm just dropping the biggest, horrifying lore bombs ever, and I'm just like, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, listen, as long as we're talking about it, there were some dark moments. There were moments of contemplation, sure. Nothing ever was actionable, but contemplation, oh, hell yeah, I was all over the contemplation. It was a great time.
I'm pretty sure I owe my life to that stray cat that decided to brush itself up on me as I was going up that bridge.
That's a story you have to tell.
Well, it's as simple as it sounds, really. I was going up to the bridge to do something very bad, and there was a stray cat that just walked up to me and wouldn't leave me alone. It was like, it stopped in front of me, it brushed itself up against my legs to, like, stop me from going. And I was like, interesting. Took a few more steps, it wouldn't leave me alone. Got to the top of the bridge, and it wouldn't leave me alone. So I took it as a sign. I put some arbitrary meaning on a random event, and it saved my life. So there you go.
Well, I'm glad it did. That's a story I did not know about, so thank you for sharing.
I don't think anyone knows about it, to be fair. So there you go. Have a bit of weird fucky lore. Now, 3 other things.
You heard it here first. Oh, and Portugal was really cool.
Yeah, you ate a lot, right?
Oh, dude, that's all you do. When you travel to another country, that's all you do.
See, I don't know what that's like.
Oh, really?
I haven't traveled to a country in 15 years. No, 20 years.
Oh, but you have at some point.
When I was 10, yes, I did, but that doesn't count. Spain.
Okay, now that counts. Why would that not count?
Because when you're 10, you don't have agency. I wasn't able to actually, decide on anything that I did. I was just there for the ride, for that, week or 2 that we were there. I was like, yeah, we're going here now. Great, I get to sit in a bar until 1 in the morning, not being able to do anything. I'm just here because that's what my parents decided to do, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, alright, fair enough.
You know, it's different when you're an adult. You get to decide where you go, what your itinerary is, all that good stuff. I haven't had that luxury ever, so I don't really know how holidaying is.
Is traveling to, say, a European country from the UK even remotely more affordable than it is for me from the US? It's gotta be, right?
I know that it's cheaper to go to Europe than it is to go anywhere in England, from England.
Really?
Staycations are way more expensive than, I don't know, getting a flight to Turkey or anywhere else in Europe. It's a lot cheaper to go somewhere in Europe than it is to go from the UK to the UK, you know?
That feels like it's not supposed to be the case.
Believe me, it's not. But it is, and that's the world we live in.
Yeah. Here, it's fun because no matter what you do, it's expensive. You want to go somewhere, you're broke. You want to stay here, you're broke. So that's fun.
Welcome to life.
Been a real blast. Yeah, so what are your next 3 things?
I have been to 20 gigs since our last episode.
That's definitely believable.
I edited something that is aired on British television.
I think I know about that. Not the details, but I think I remember that happening.
Aoi Todo is my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen character.
See, now, you never told me your straight-up favorite. No, I think you did say. So then wait a minute, which one of those is not true then?
You tell me.
20 gigs in 2 years. I feel like you've done 10 in the last 6 months, so that's definitely possible.
It feels like I have.
Might be a technicality thing. It might be like, oh, I've done 19.
I've been 19. No, I'm not that dickhead of a guy. It's...
And then... What was the other one?
I edited something that aired on British television.
I feel like I remember that happening, but it might be a false memory.
Tell me about it.
Because Toto is that's practically a lock because he's everyone's favorite.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, he's a lot of people's favorite. He's a very popular character.
I never see anyone talk about him.
Really?
I live in a world of fucking Ghetto and Gojo. That's all my universe is when it comes to that show. No one else is talked about. Maybe Sukuna. Maybe. And that's because everyone's horny now.
Everyone's horny all the time.
People are way hornier now than they ever were last decade.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
It's such a big thing.
Maybe it's just more out in the open now?
I think because the world is so awful, we're now outwardly coping by being horny on main all the time.
You're having a sexual awakening across the world.
I don't think I'm wrong, though.
No, it feels
It's happening
right.
in wrestling.
That is true.
Rhea Ripley has transcended the sphere because she's hot.
That is very true.
Gooning is at an all-time high.
Gooning is a mainstream known term.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't exist 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or at least I didn't know
Back then,
about
we
it.
called it simping. Now it's
I
gooning.
think those are very different.
Yeah, you're probably right, but no,
you can sit for a few hours and no mess is created.
I subscribe to the theory that everyone is hornier nowadays.
I think you might be right.
And that's not just a subjective thing of oh, I'm noticing it more now. I think it is just a trend that has emerged now.
It might be a mix of both. It might be these horny people have always existed. We're just seeing it more now, but I think it is also spreading.
Yeah, definitely.
Aoi Toto on British television.
He was? When? No, I mean, I've gotten into Jujutsu Kaisen now. That's a new development.
That is true. That is a new thing.
I'm not at season 2 yet, so don't spoil me. Oh wait, the fandom is terrible and has already spoiled me on everything, so thanks. Really good, guys.
On top of everyone being hornier, there is no more etiquette for spoilers. Ever.
Jujutsu Kaisen is the worst fandom I have ever seen for spoilers. Ever.
No, One Piece is worse.
I don't give a shit about One Piece.
No, but I know that. But what will happen is you'll see on TikTok all the time someone being like, I'm watching One Piece for the first time. Here are my live reactions to this episode or whatever. And it'll be one of the first 100 episodes. And it's a big moment. And people are like, oh, cool. I love seeing your reaction to this moment. It's so cool seeing people get into One Piece. Just wait till you see the part where this person dies. It's what the fuck is wrong with you?
I was in a Reddit thread talking about Monday Night Raw. One of John Cena's heel promos.
Mm-hmm.
Completely not at all Jujutsu Kaisen related, right?
Oh, man.
And that's correct. It is not Jujutsu Kaisen related. However, one comment said, seeing John Cena as a heel bully a child is so weird. This must have been how Gojo felt when... We're gonna bleep that. We're gonna bleep that when we air it because we care about spoilers in Bitter Chatter. But what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, people have no...
I mean, don't get me wrong. The character with a... What do you mean is... Oh, I never saw that coming. Like, that part I kind of got, but I don't know what Kojak is. Who's Kojak?
Yeah.
What's happening there? So now I know, because some dickhead on Reddit was like, oh, it's just like when John Cena bullied a child. It's like, shut the fuck up.
What did you call that one character? Like pigtail, iced coffee girly or something?
Yeah. I know his name is now Choso.
I was looking at that message for like 3 minutes. I was like, who the fuck is he talking about?
Baby girl pigtail iced lattes.
And like, yeah, Cho something. Dude,
Choso.
Your description threw me for so much of a loop that even when you were like, I think his name is like Cho something, I was like, who the fuck is Cho? I have no idea. You erased him from my mind.
Because again, I don't really know who Choso is, but I know him now because again, this fandom doesn't shut up.
Yes, it's really bad. Anime fandoms especially, they assume everyone's watched everything at the same time as them, and
yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly fucking it. Because I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes to start with, and then I go on Instagram Reels, I see a Jujutsu Kaisen thing, and I'm like, oh, I'll like that. I'm sure nothing bad will happen from me liking this reel, and then I see at least 20 times the following day, and I haven't gotten to that part yet. Still, fuck all of you. You all suck.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So yeah, Aoi Todo is my favorite.
Okay.
I love Boogie Woogie. It's such a stand ability. He's so funny.
It really is. That's what I love about Jujutsu Kaisen, but also a lot of modern anime is like you can feel the influence of JoJo's and Stan's in like every power system nowadays. It's so good. People get the most ridiculous, specific, niche abilities. And it's like, well, that sounds ridiculous. And then you get to see them do it, and it's awesome. And it's like, all right, I'm in. You hooked me. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in. And plus, his whole character arc with the idol thing is just chef's kiss. Is fantastic. So yeah, that's one of the facts now. Do you think that one's false or no?
So assuming now that Toto is definitely your favorite. I don't know. I guess the television thing, because 20 gigs, I feel like you must have done.
Is that your answer?
I'm going to go with the television is the lie.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
I just made that up.
I feel like I remember that happening, though. Am I just, like, mixing stories up?
I'm pretty sure I've done things that have aired on local American television, but that's not a thing to be proud of, really, is it?
I mean, it's a thing.
It is a thing that happened 9 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking in the last 2 years still.
No. I haven't done much of editing other than hobby stuff, you know? It's just been not really in the spoon drawer, you know what I mean?
I do know what that means, weirdly.
Yeah.
What were if out of the gigs you've seen in the last 2 years? Best one and worst one.
Jesus Christ. Oh god. Oh man, I'm so tired. This is what happens when your partner who lives and breathes live music also has shaky mental health, is you end up buying so many concert tickets. You end up going to at least one a month for almost 2 years.
Yeah, hey man, that sounds great.
It's great, but I'm very tired. We have 2 coming up in the next week. I'm scared.
2 in the next week?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I don't want to say. It's a surprise. It's a secret. Shut up. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Where have I been? I actually have a list. I've been writing them down. This is just gigs, by the way, because gigs will have, like, support artists and other things. So I've seen maybe 40 artists, if I want to put a ballpark figure on that.
Yeah, with openers and shit like that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god. So many. Who has been good? Oh, we went and saw Stray Kids.
Oh, shit. I don't know if I know about that one.
Yeah, we saw them at a festival type of event. I don't know. I think it was a festival.
Okay.
It was in one of the big London parks. I loved it. It was very intense. The whole thing lasted like 7 or 8 hours. I'm very
When you
tired
say
from it
big
still.
London park, do you mean like a park?
You need to elaborate on what the fuck you just said.
Because my first thought was he means a park. Grass field, people go there to throw a frisbee around with their dog, whatever. Then
Yes.
I was like, they also call stadiums that. I don't know if he meant that.
No, it was a big grass field that they put
okay.
a festival type experience on.
Gotcha.
There were
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4 artists across the... No, 5, actually. 5 artists across the day. Stray Kids were the main event. But that meant we had to be
Nice.
there at start. So it was like... definitely 12 hours in this place. And, oh, wow. I'm not built for that
That's-
environment.
That's the point where it sounds like a nightmare.
It's not even a place where you can camp, either. You are just in the stage area. You are in the audience for that long.
Oh no, fuck that. I couldn't.
You can sit down in between artists, because they take breaks in between each support act, but Jesus.
Yeah, even then, like, I'm at a point now, I'm almost 30. I need a chair.
Literally, I only ever want to do seating gigs nowadays.
Yeah,
There are
that
occasional ones
standing
where I
room
do
only.
standing, but I'm like, no. I hate this, actually.
And it's, this brings up an interesting point, because you just reminded me of something that happened to me in the last 2 years where I went to a gig, and it was a concert at a baseball stadium, and I think that was the Green Day concert.
Oh, I saw Green Day too.
Dope. But when we were there, we were in like the upper levels. We weren't like in front of the stage. And, Yessie and I are standing there. We're enjoying it. There comes a point you want to sit down. Yeah, the music's still going on. I got to sit down. This couple in front of us, I don't blame them for not wanting to sit. But there was a point where we were just like, hey, guys, do you mind just like scooching or something a little bit? We can't see. And they were like, it's a concert. Go fuck yourself. And it's like, okay. And it just brings up, I don't know how to feel about that in general, because I get it. I get that it's a concert. Most people are going to be standing and jumping the whole time.
Nah, dog, that's being an asshole. Those people were assholes to you. That's very ableist, you know?
That's the thing. Like, not everyone's going to be able to sit or stand the whole time.
Oh, you can stand for 36 hours? Good for you, buddy. I fucking can't. Please move out the way and not be a dickhead about it.
It's so weird.
You're not entitled to this.
I've like Googled like what is considered good concert etiquette just to see like what people's opinions are. I don't care. It's not going to change what I do, but I'm just curious. Like, what do people say about this? It's so divided. There's no consensus.
That's because everyone has their own opinion and some people are assholes, so you do kind of have to take everything with a pinch of salt. It's like
That's the
when we went to... Have you ever heard of Fight Star?
I feel no.
You probably haven't. Okay, have you ever heard of Busted?
As a word, but not as a
Oh,
thing.
come on. Okay, fine. It's British stuff anyway. Fight Star is a hardcore band.
Okay.
One of Ellie's favorites.
Okay.
We went to this gig in Wembley Arena.
Mhm.
This is a metal fan type of gig, you know? Those types of people.
Yeah.
We were sitting. We were at, like, the side. We had pretty good seats, all things considered. But these people were spilling beers over everybody behind us. I got
Oh.
beer spill on me.
Yeah, that's a... yeah,
And they
no.
were like, oh, this is a metal show. That's what happens at metal shows. I'm like, nah, you're just a drunken asshole
That's
who
what
doesn't
you
have any
do at metal
consideration for the
shows.
people around him. Like, fuck you.
Mm.
People
Yeah,
have
I
no
don't-
etiquette.
There are certain conditions where, depending on where you are, yeah, you have to accept that that's going to happen. Like, if you go to a sports game and you're in, like, the hardcore supporter section, yeah, they're going to be jumping and hooting and hollering and throwing
I
beers
would
around.
expect this in the fucking pits, but we were not in the fucking pits. We were in the
That's
fucking
the thing.
seats.
That's the thing. When you're in, like, the upper levels of a baseball stadium watching Green Day, No, there is no expectation that we should all be standing this whole time and fuck you if you can't see. That's crazy to me.
No, they were assholes to you, man.
Yeah, but alright. What was the worst gig you went to in the last 2 years?
See, I don't know if it was a worst gig, but there's etiquette at concerts, which I cannot fucking stand.
Yeah, I guess not necessarily worst performance, but worst experience.
Dog, don't even fucking talk to me about vapes.
Ooh.
I hate anyone who vapes.
It's pretty rough.
I hate it. I fucking hate vaping. I wish we were all back to when we smoked.
No, I will say this. The smell of a cigarette makes my skin crawl, and I will gladly sit next to someone vaping over a cigarette smoker 10 out of 10
opposite
times.
for me. Opposite for me.
Really?
I can understand cigarette smoke because I grew up with it as a child.
That's so interesting. I hate it because I grew up around it.
I don't like it. I'm not saying I want everyone to smoke. I'm just saying if we're going to be
but that's what I mean.
ingesting poisonous liquids and smokes, I would rather it be tobacco. I will take cigarette smoke over the farty, fruity vape juice any day of the week. It smells like farts.
Obnoxious.
It's fucking terrible. It's awful. And there's no etiquette with it either. Everyone at a fucking gig now just vapes directly up into the air, like that makes it any fucking better, or they'll do it in front of people, in their faces, at the back of their heads, and it's like, fuck you. I don't vape. I didn't sign up for this shit. If you want to actually have me smoke this vape shit, I will do it on my own fucking terms. But I don't want to, because I have a brain, and I understand that it's not good for you, so you shouldn't fucking do it, maybe, probably.
It's literally liquid chemicals.
I have been so patient my entire life. I'm allowed to die on this hill. I'm not saying that you're a bad person for vaping, because there are people who listen to this who will be vaping. You do you. But don't make me do you. That's what it is, alright? I don't give a shit. You do it in your own home, away from me. I don't want to fucking breathe in your toxic fucking chemicals. I don't have a choice in that regard. You're not giving me a choice. I have a choice to want to breathe fresh air. And I am very lucky that I'm able to have that choice every day. Just because everybody on planet Earth has decided that vaping is fine, that doesn't mean I think it's okay. You go fuck yourself if you're vaping at a concert. You're not meant to anyway. There's rules against it. It already says there's no smoking or vaping in this fucking arena. And people do it anyway. Because you're selfish. Think of somebody else for once. Jesus.
No, but then I'm not immediately gratified if I do that.
Well, fuck you. I'll punch you in the back of the head.
Oh.
I'll be immediately gratified if I do that shit.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
You know,
that is,
like, whatever. I've been sitting on that for a long time. I think vaping is the most obnoxious habit that anyone can have.
I mean, I can't argue with you.
This is when you come in and say that you've taken up vaping now.
So one of my next things is I've become a hardcore vapor.
Uh-huh.
No, but I will give you my next three.
What's your favorite flavor? Pineapple Prolapse? What the fuck? And they're selling this shit to kids as well. It's literally like there's packs of them, just buckets of them in convenience stores. Like £2 a vape. Have it now.
The moment they made nicotine bubblegum flavored, we were all fucked.
I hate the world that I live in. I don't want to live here anymore.
I also just hate bubblegum flavor. It's a bad flavor.
That's the problem?
Well, one of
That's the issue here?
That's why I don't like Iron Brew.
Oh, Iron Brew's dog shit, dude.
It tastes like bubblegum soda. It's disgusting.
I don't know what it tastes like, but I hate it.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
And that's not to say I haven't had it. I mean, I have had it, but I can't describe what that flavor is.
Yeah, I only had it the one time when I was in England, and to me it just tasted straight up like bubblegum, which I've always hated since I was a kid.
Icky wicky.
Icky, sticky. Anyway, so my next statements. I started watching soccer hardcore. I went to my first wrestling show in years. And I listened to the entire Beatles discography from start to finish.
Again, all of these are true, right?
One of them's a lie.
Well, I know for a fact that you like soccer now because you talk about it and you're trying to get me into it, and I'm actively resisting it every
I
time.
don't push that one much.
No, I'm happy for you. It's great that you're able to experience joy. I just never will be able to.
Yeah, I think we've had one or two conversations where I'm like, maybe give it a shot. I think it's pretty cool if you watch it in certain mindsets and conditions, and then you're like, no. I'm like, okay.
No, what thing is, I do, and then I hate it still.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I get that's. I cannot.
Some things
force
you're
you
just
to
not
like it.
made to consume. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't think
all
you've
right.
been to a wrestling show.
Okay.
Because you fell out of the fandom, like, however long ago. Now you're dipping your toes in again. You would have told me if you went to a show,
Mm,
but you haven't, so that's got to be the lie, right?
that is correct. I have not been to a wrestling show since. I don't know what year it was, but it must have been a house NXT show in Florida back when they used to do the occasional house show near where I lived.
That's probably
Which
2015,
was
right?
something like that. Because
Yeah.
I stopped watching wrestling consistently in, I want to say it was 2016.
No, it was like 2018, I think.
I remember 2016 was like a bridge burning point for me because that was the Royal Rumble where they made the Royal Rumble for the title and Triple H won.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man.
And then
Oh, I
WrestleMania that
feel
year
it.
was one of the worst ever.
I feel it slipping.
I thought the thing that really burned you was the Jinder Mahal title reign, which was the following year.
But see, that didn't bother me as much as it bothered everyone else. I was in the minority that I didn't mind it that much. It
I think
wasn't
that was the
good.
problem, though, wasn't it? Like, I think everyone was like, what the fuck is your problem? Why don't you hate this? And then you were like, nah, I don't want to be a fan anymore. This is what it is.
That
I don't
probably
want to be a
didn't
fan.
help. That probably didn't help. I don't think of it as a bridge burning moment for me, but it might have been. But yeah, no, I just haven't been into wrestling in such a long time. I try to keep up with the general what's going on in the big storylines, at least in WWE. I do not keep up with AEW at all. I never really watched them. But the going to a show, no, I'm not going to a show in about a decade.
Do you know how many I've been to in the last year?
I know you go much more frequently,
5.
just in the last year.
Yeah.
And a good handful of that was AEW, too.
No.
At least one.
Yes. One of them was. Not all of
Okay.
them.
Well, no, not all of them, but I thought there was at
You
least...
said a great handful.
I thought it was 2 or 3 that were AEW. Out of
Nah,
those 5.
dog. I went to All In with Andy and Keelan, and that was great. And that was the one time, and I don't think I'll ever go to AEW again.
Was it that bad?
No, the event itself was fine. It was everything after that event that went horribly wrong.
Oh, yes, that was the Hell Night.
Not even personally, just the company as well. It's kind of gone to shit.
Really?
I don't know. I'm not interested at all. In anything,
mean,
really.
I thought they had a lot of potential to, like, really get their roots going when they made MJF a face.
I hated that.
I know you hated it because it ended up amounting to nothing, which made you correct. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you hating that. But I thought if they had stuck with it and really committed to him being their number one guy, they had something. I thought they had a lot of potential to develop, build off of. They just didn't do it. And everything I've heard about what he's been up to since then sounds like he's not only regressed as a character, but as a talent and as a booking tool for them. Like, he's mid-card again. Like, what the fuck happened?
There's a lot of things we could talk about when it comes to that, and we should probably save it for another time because no one
Yeah, this
listening
isn't
to
our
this
wrestling
really
show,
cares.
so we're not gonna get
No, I
into
went
all
to
that.
one AEW show, which was their WrestleMania at Wembley Stadium, which was mind-blowing, by the way. They actually did it in Wembley Stadium. That's crazy.
That's cool.
I then have been to 2 WWE house shows for the first time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How were those? I've never been to like a WWE house show that wasn't NXT.
I mean, for me, it was life-changing because this is the company that I've been a stan for ever since I was 15.
That's true.
So there's a lot of emotions behind experiencing that. And plus, bringing Ellie with me has really been very good for it. because I get to explain things and see their reaction to things for the first time, and it's really, really nice.
That's true. I mean, I've been able to. I've been lucky enough that Yessie has been kind of getting into soccer with me, at least for one specific team that is local to us, which is cool. So like we'll actually go to a game every once in a while, and it'll be like, oh, we actually both care about this. This is cool. So yeah, I totally get that.
We also went to New Japan.
That's right. They did a show.
They did a show in your grandma's gymnasium.
But that must have been awesome.
I got to see Naito and Tanahashi with my own eyeballs.
That's fucking radical.
Isn't it? Isn't it just... They're just as wonderful and brilliant in real life, you know?
I imagine it's got to even be more, because Japanese wrestling, what I love about it is the characters are so developed and like fleshed out as people that I imagine seeing them in person is probably even like more of an experience than seeing them on a screen.
It's really weird when you see somebody in real life who you have only ever seen on your laptop or your phone for the better part of a decade.
You know, it's so funny you say that talking about a wrestler, because the number one example that comes to mind when I think of that exact phenomenon is when I met Liam in person for the first time when he came to New York.
That is really it, isn't it?
I walked up to him at Penn Station because that's where he and his friend were meeting me. And I found them and I walked up to him and I looked at him for a second. We just looked at each other. It was such a moment. And I was like, you're three-dimensional in front of my face right now. I don't know how to feel about this.
It's very weird and very strange.
Yeah. So yeah,
but very cool.
Naito and shit. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a night I'll never forget. And then the fifth one I went to was a local promotion based in Sheffield.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Do you know why I went to Sheffield on Wednesday?
Why did you go to Sheffield on Wednesday?
Because our mutual friend Andy Kwan is a referee for this promotion.
Oh, you went to one of his shows!
I did.
How was that?
Really fun.
That's dope. I didn't even know that you did that. I knew that he was doing this reffing thing.
That I've known for many years, one of my best friends, be a referee in front of my eyes. It was crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there was a guy who jumped off a thing. It was brilliant.
I feel like you can say that about any wrestling show ever.
If anyone jumps off anything, it's brilliant.
Yeah, there was a guy who jumped off a thing. It was dope.
It was the best.
That's so cool that he's reffing now.
Yeah, it's really fun to see.
I like the thing that he was talking about the other day where he was like, I react too much to the small moves, so they got mad at me because then when I react to the big moves, it's not as important.
It's funny what you kind of have to learn when you're in that headspace, because fuck knows, we don't know anything about that, yeah.
Because in the back of my head, the only thing I ever remember is like refs reacting to big moves. I've never like even considered them reacting to like a normal clothesline, but every time I see them react to a move, I'm like, oh, that's such a good moment. Like what a moment in the ring, like to do that. But the idea of like just a slap and you're like, oh!
Because that kind of is what he was doing. If you look back at footage of his earliest reffing matches, you see him just react to everything. It's really quite funny.
That's great.
Because yes, of course you fucking would. It's a different mindset to be in.
Yeah, when you're a fan for how many years, and then you get in a ring and you're experiencing a match in front of you that you're participating in. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's really dope. Really good stuff. Plus tons of other musical gigs and all that shit, you know. Good fucking times. Really good shit. But I am so tired, and it will keep going forever. So that's nice.
Nice. Well, yes, one of my truths is I got big into soccer. You did. I don't know how this happened.
You just put it on and you were like, yeah, this is it for me. This is the good stuff.
You know what it was? The last World Cup, which I guess was like the 2022 World Cup. My brother-in-law, who lives with me, huge soccer fan. So he had it on the whole time it was happening. So I'd be like going through the living room and I'm just seeing like World Cup matches and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And I was like, I've tried so many times to get into soccer. For whatever reason, I couldn't fathom what I was looking at. I didn't get the game. And so it just never stuck. And so I was like looking at World Cup matches and I'm like, okay, how does this work? Like, all right, fine. I was like legit just trying to watch it. I was like, let me give this a shot. Let me just be fair to this sport that the whole world loves. So clearly I'm missing something. And all of a sudden, once I understood how the game worked, it just opened the door and I was like, uh-oh. You can just feel the like hooks getting into your brain and I'm like, oh no.
I mean this in an entirely unserious way. When you first told me that you got into soccer, I'd never felt more betrayed on a personal level than anything ever before.
I know, because it was
you know my feelings on it before this, and for you to say you're in it now, I'm like, well, it was nice knowing you. The man I knew has died a death. It's been replaced by a soccer fan. What the fuck?
I will say this. When you have told me why you hate soccer, it is usually, at its core, about the culture of the sport in your country.
I don't know how else to explain it other than I put football on the television, I look at it with my eyeballs, and it does nothing for me.
Which is fair. To say that the game just does not do anything for you is fine, but you hate it. And that is because of mostly the people and how they interact with the game, correct?
Yes.
That I totally understand. Because
Number one, worst fandom in the world, the soccer fandom. Number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 3, wrestling. There's a list. Here's the order of the list that it's in. You know, I can't stand any of it. Can't stand the fans, can't stand the players, can't stand the sport itself. Everything at a molecular level is against me. And so for you to say, I actually like this now, and I'm like, fuck, no, you're supposed to be the chosen one.
You're supposed to be my friend!
Right. That's how it felt.
No, but... Okay, so actually, let me continue this train of thought. So, like, I started watching and I was like, uh-oh, I think I like the sport. And then I discovered that the Premier League, which is the top division English league, is on Peacock. And Peacock is available for like $5 a month. And you can watch every game on replay, on demand. And I'm like, awesome! Like, yeah, after like, I think 6 weeks, they drop off the platform, but that's plenty of time. So I'm like, I have so much soccer I can watch. And I started watching the Premier League heavy. And so I got to know all the teams and what's going on, all the different like storylines that are happening as the season goes on. And I'm on my 3rd season of watching it now, and I'm like hooked. Because I love the promotion and relegation concept in sports. I think that's a great idea that I don't know why American sports don't use.
I think the NFL could really benefit from that.
I think it would be great. I also think there's no way in hell it will ever happen because the NFL is just such an ingrained pillar of sports in this country that the idea of changing it, we know how this country reacts to change, not positively. So that's never going to happen. But our soccer league might one day do it. That's the only hope I have. And yeah, so I watched the Premier League a bunch, and then I was like, hey, there's soccer in my country I can watch. So I started watching MLS. Big NYCFC fan. They suck, which is great, because that's my life.
Why do you do this?
I don't know. It's New York. It turns out New York sports suck. As a whole, for the most part. But this
transcends New York. You also pick other teams that are also shit.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? What's in your DNA that makes you do this? It must be something down to you.
I don't like, or not, I shouldn't say I don't like, but I don't prefer to choose my favorite team based on who wins. I don't like
get
picking
the
winner.
Fuck out of here. Come on.
But it's not like I'll go for the worst team either. I'm not going to pick the Cleveland Browns. If it's an American sport, I'm going to go for the New York team because they just resonate with me. I like the vibe of New York teams, even though they suck. It's a curse. But when it comes to soccer in like other countries, I don't have a local team to support, so I got to pick one. And I usually just go based on vibes. And there's certain vibes I like in sports. I like youth in sports. I like the idea of youth with potential. I like aggressive play styles. And I like certain aesthetics. I think a lot of British soccer teams are very boring with their aesthetic.
That
Most of them
too.
are-
Oh my god, it's like a tin of paint versus a slightly different tin of paint. What the fuck are you talking about? What's the difference
Like-
between Chelsea and Tottenham? They're both white and blue. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, it's where they're
So-
from? They're both in London? Who gives a shit?
So many teams are either just red or blue. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, guys, there are so many other things we could be doing. And I get it. So many of these teams are like 100 years old, so we can't just change the identity now. Fine, then you're boring. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
That's my criticism. We've done it for 100 years, so that's how we're gonna do it forever. Really? Is that really the way? I mean, I'm a good proponent of let's just slow down things. Let's just stop advancing for just a second. Can we not just stay where we are for a little bit? I'm a fan of that. I'm also not a fan of we've been here for 100 years. Let's continue to stay here for another 1,000. How about you just change a little thing? Just slight little things. You don't have to fucking go to the moon. You just have to go to Scotland. Like, for fuck's sake, just do something small. Maybe. I don't know. I'm difficult to impress, apparently.
And like,
Maybe this is me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am just the wrong person in this moment, right? Maybe I am just not the person that needs to exist right now. You know? Why do I, as someone who plays games to win, I'm always competitive. This goes down to board games and video games, right? I'm very competitive, so I want to win, because that's the entire point of the thing that we're doing. So when I pick a team that wins all the fucking time, I'm like, yeah, that's my team. Everyone's like, no, fuck that team. It sucks. It wins all the time. It's like, what are you talking about? Is that not the point of what we're here for?
In general, I have no problem with that. I just typically don't end up choosing the winningest teams because there's usually just a vibe. It's just a vibes thing for me. But like, especially in England, I'll say this, right? The top soccer teams, they're only the top teams because they have the most money. Now there's a whole economy in the sport. Like I'm not going to get into why certain teams have the most money, whatever. There are a couple that are straight up like funneling money in from other government entities. That's a little wild. I don't know. I like a team that can win with potential and fiery talent and like it's an upset, but they have it in them to do it any given week. That's why I landed on Brighton, which Andy seems baffled beyond belief that I chose Brighton as my team, but that's why.
Oh, that's Andy Kwan. No one cares. He's always baffled by everything that isn't what he knows. Come on.
Yeah. It's like, you like New York teams. Why'd you choose Brighton? It's like, well, yeah, I like New York teams. What's that going to land me on in England? Arsenal? Fuck no.
Is there a team from York?
Probably. I don't know who they are, though. They're probably just called York.
I don't know. I don't care enough to find out either, so maybe you should do your research. Now I'll ask this, because I know nothing about the sport, I know nothing about the teams, I know nothing about the cultures. Is the Brighton team gayer than the rest?
Why would they be?
Because Brighton is the gay capital of the UK.
Is it really?
It is.
I don't know that much about the
Every
actual
queer
town.
person lives there.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Pride is there every year.
I wouldn't say as a team that they are particularly gay, no.
Well, then what the fuck is the point?
They're blue.
Great, where are the other colours? Where's the rest of you?
They do have it a little bit different, though. They're not just solid blue like a Chelsea. They're at least blue and white stripes, which I can deal with. That's actually not
blue and
common.
white. Wow, what a crazy colour combo. That's never been done before.
Well, as far as the stripes go, like, not a lot of teams look like that.
The
So they do
stripes
have
are different. Are you listening to yourself right now?
Listen,
the stripes
I
are
get
different, so it's good. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm
I
crazy.
get it.
I'm insane.
I get it. I know what you're talking about. It is bad. Your country is unoriginal when it comes to designing sports aesthetics. I understand. My point is, Brighton at least look a little bit different than everyone else.
The stripes go that way. Whoa.
Yes! Honestly, it makes a difference when everyone else looks the same.
I can't believe that we're in this room having this conversation right now. It's just baffling
Now,
to me.
Instead of arguing about the stripes, I have something else for these English soccer teams. And I'm going to keep calling it soccer because England came up with the term, and I will never let you live it down.
I don't give a shit. I don't really...
No, not you. Just the country in general.
Oh, you don't use your feet, so why'd you call it football? I don't... Do you know words can have multiple meanings? I know that's rich coming from me, Mr. Egg Salad, but there's... Shut up. Just shut up.
I just know it bothers Andy. So I have put together a list of all the teams currently in the Premier League. Because of promotion and relegation, sometimes 3 teams a year change. It doesn't matter. The teams that are in there right now.
How many teams are there?
20.
Oh.
Which is not bad. In American sports leagues, it's usually like 32 or more.
I know, but that's still 20.
But what I've done is I've put together a list of all the Premier League teams and their comparison team as far as American sports go.
How long is this going to take?
I have no idea.
All right, just speed it. Speed around it.
You'll enjoy it to some extent because I tried not to make all of these American football teams, but a lot of them are. Starts with Arsenal. Arsenal, from what I can tell, are a team that think they are important. They are one of the quote-unquote big 6. They are one of the richer teams. They are one of the better teams. They always look like a serious contender. Every year they look sharp. They look dangerous. And every year, towards the end, they trip over themselves and they look like assholes and they lose and they never win anything. That's why they are the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I was going to say that does sound like the Bills.
Then we have Aston Villa. They are a team that historically has sucked. But nowadays, every once in a while, they'll have a really solid year and they'll make people think, oh, that's a legit team. They're really not. In their soul, they're losers. That's why they're the Boston Red Sox. I'm going to piss off so many people with this list.
I thought you were going to say the Browns.
Oh, no. We'll get there. Bournemouth. Now, this is actually Liam's favorite team, even though he doesn't watch much. Bournemouth are interesting because historically they've been like such a small team. Like they're not in the history books much at all. But just recently, like in the last 2 years, they're legit out of nowhere. So I'm going to call them the Houston Texans.
Oh, they're not the Lions?
No. I think, do I have the Lions on here? Oh, I do, yes. Brentford. The Bees.
You're making these up. These aren't real things. These aren't real places or names.
Oh, you know my favorite thing about British teams? Your nicknames for teams are terrible.
Yeah.
Do you know what Arsenal are called?
Gunners, right?
The Gunners. You know what their fans typically call themselves?
The Gooners.
The Gooners.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
To be fair, they've been Gooners for however long. It's just the internet took gooning and turned it into a weird sex thing. So now there's that confusion. So whenever I talk to Andy, like, oh, you're such a gooner, and he's like, yes, I do like Arsenal. It's like, no, fuck off, you old man. I'm telling you that you're horny. Obnoxiously so. Stop it.
This is also true.
Yeah.
Aston Villa are the villains, which is stupid.
I get it, Villa.
Yeah, exactly. Bournemouth, you'll never guess in a million years. They're the cherries.
Why are they the cherries?
Fruit. They're red. Maybe that's why. But they're red and black. Cherries are not.
Sure. I mean, the stone can be black.
I guess. Brentford are the bees. Like bumblebees.
Brentford bees. Makes sense. Bees all the way down.
They're like a team that they just exist. They sometimes they suck. Most of the time they're average. Sometimes they're really good. They're the Detroit Pistons. That's a basketball team. They exist. So everyone forgets they exist.
You're branching out something crazy. I don't know. Red Sox? Pistons? I don't know these names.
Yeah, the Red Sox was baseball, which you don't know shit about hockey, baseball, basketball. It's only American football.
This is great. This is great content for me to be subjected to.
It's my team. It's Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yeah, it goes into the weird territory of English, like counties, towns, cities having weird borders and names, and they are, but they aren't this also. I've been learning about that recently. It's fucking wild. Yeah,
there's a few that are a little odd, and I don't really know how to make heads or tails of it. But they are the Seagulls, which that's fine because at least they're a beach town.
Yeah, there are a lot of seagulls.
So like at least that one makes sense. You know what? How I just described the teams I like: aggressive, young, a lot of potential. They are the Detroit Lions.
But at least the Detroit Lions did very well this season.
Yeah, and you know what? Brighton are not that bad. They're not like a shit team. They're not like the Giants. They don't suck.
You made it
straight
sound like
up.
they're a shit team because you like them.
Well, they're probably the best team that I like.
Great.
They're not.
Doesn't say much.
No, it doesn't really. They're not like the best team in the Premier League or anywhere close, but they're in the better half for sure.
We're only in the B's still. We gotta keep going with this.
Next is Chelsea.
Rich wankers.
Well, they're one of many London teams, so
Yep.
they consider themselves very important. Also, they're just the Blues, by the way.
It's not just London, it's the rich part of London too.
Oh, yeah, on top of that. But yeah, they're not even like the Bees. They're the Blues because they're blue.
It's fine. You like blue? Who are you to talk?
Fucking ridiculous.
It's
But
blue.
they like to pretend that they're very important. They're not. In the big picture, they kind of suck. That's why they are the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is one of my favorite sports teams ever because of how stupid that name is.
It's just golden nuggets all the way down.
Crystal Palace,
Okay,
Their
this is
nickname is-
Ellie's type of turf, I think.
which is crazy. You know, what are the odds? You know who Crystal Palace's biggest rival in the Premier League is?
Who's that?
Brighton.
Yeah, that is weird.
What are the odds? The Eagles, what can I say about them? They,
The Eagles.
that's the nickname of the Crystal Palace.
Not the football team, the Eagles.
No, not American football Eagles, British football Eagles. And they're still my rivals everywhere I turn. The Eagles are always attacking me. They suck. I'm going to be straightforward. They suck. They like to pretend they don't suck in the way that a lot of Philly teams do. They actually fit right in with the Eagles that I know. But they're not quite the Eagles because the American Eagles are very good. So they're more like the Philadelphia 76ers, a basketball team that just exist and suck and exist and suck forever. Everton! They are in Liverpool, but they're not Liverpool. I think they're named after a church.
Probably. A lot of things are named after churches and parishes and other ancient things from the year 100.
By the way, what is Merseyside? When people say that term, what is that?
It's a place.
The place is called Merseyside?
I don't know. Let me Google it. I don't know. I don't know everything.
Oh, I don't know. You live in the country. I thought you might have an idea.
You live in America. You know everything about every American thing ever to have happened, yeah?
To be fair, your country's a lot smaller.
Merseyside is a ceremonial county.
Okay, fair enough.
It borders Lancashire, Cheshire, Greater Manchester, and Flintshire.
Now, what I will say about Everton is that they were like old school original. Like they've been around the block more than most teams. So they have that bit of legacy going for them. I don't think they've ever been relegated, which is a big deal. Only a handful of teams can ever say that. But nowadays, they are pretty fucking terrible, and they barely escape relegation by the skin of their teeth every year. So they're the New York Jets.
The Beatles are from Merseyside.
I actually knew that.
Yeah.
Fulham, another London team. They are
Fulham.
the most boring team I've ever seen. Their colors, their primary colors are white with a splash of red and a splash of black. They play boring. They look boring. Their name is boring. Their stadium is boring. They're the Tennessee Titans.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
Their jerseys, whack. Their football, whack. So we got Ipswich, which I didn't realize was a place until this year.
That's where my family is from.
There you go.
It's not a good thing.
They are the... Oh, Fulham, I don't even know, by the way, what their nickname is.
The Fulls. The Full Houses.
That's how boring they are.
Everywhere you look. I don't fucking care.
And Everton, I think, are the Toffees?
Great. You could say literally anything and I would believe you and also not care.
Ipswich are the Tractor Boys. Are there a lot of farmers in that area?
Yeah, it's like country bumpkin Ipswich type of place.
That makes
you
more
know?
sense. Apparently,
Yeah.
also, Ed Sheeran is a fan of them and is a minority owner of that team.
He's from Ipswich, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that would explain it. They're pretty bad. They're actually one of the
Yeah.
worst teams.
Nothing
They're
good ever
not
came out
good.
of Ipswich except me.
People often forget they exist. I guess that's why. So they are the Wizards, the basketball team.
They're magically shit.
Yep. Leicester City.
Now, this is the
Now,
legendary
Leicester
tale that they had that massive win when they hadn't ever won before. That's what I remember.
Not only had they not won before, they had just been promoted into the Premier League that season, and then they won it, which is crazy. No one's ever done that, I don't think, other than them.
What year does that happen?
They're known as like this miracle team that could like win at any given time. The thing is, they typically suck. They're one of the worst teams this year. They got relegated the last time they were in the Premier League. So yeah, they have the occasional miracle run in their DNA, I guess, but they usually suck. So guess what? That's the New York Giants.
Aren't you just so happy?
I loved writing that one down. Dude, the moment I was like, who is Leicester? Who do they compare to? And the more I was thinking about it, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Liverpool. Liverpool are one of the big teams. They're just the Reds, by the way.
Which Reds?
Yeah.
There's like
exactly.
5 of you. There's 5 of you motherfuckers that are red. More than that. There's 10
Leicester.
of you.
Leicester are the Foxes, which is that's at least something.
There's Foxes up there, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Liverpool, they are, again, one of the classic teams. They've, like, one of the oldest teams. They've won, I think, the most trophies of any team in England. They'll have their occasional down years, but even their down years are not that bad. They're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Beatles are from Liverpool.
Manchester City. There's 2 Manchesters.
Why are there
the
2
blue
Manchesters? There's just Manchester. It's not 2 places.
Well, there's 2 teams. So Manchester City, the Citizens, by the way.
You had to start somewhere.
Terrible nickname.
It's the best thing they could start with.
At the very least, their colors are slightly different. It's not just blue. It is like a sky blue or powder blue, whatever. And they are owned by Saudi Arabia, which is... Ooh.
Not at all problematic and very benevolent. Very good.
No.
Nice. Wonderful.
So they illegally siphon money into that team all the time. They have bought all the best players and the best coaches. They've won almost every year. They are having an uncharacteristically down year this year, but they win all the fucking time. And everyone hates it. It's not special. They are the Lakers. Now, I was gonna make them the Yankees, but as we get to the next one, Manchester United, I was considering them to be the Yankees because they are the team historically. They've won the second most trophies, I think. They had like a 20-year period where they were the best team, winning every year. And now they're mediocre. And by mediocre, I mean this year they're especially awful. So instead of the Yankees, because the Yankees just don't win the title anymore, they're not particularly terrible. But you know who is and used to be a legacy team? The Dallas Cowboys.
Not the Patriots.
No, I mean, the Patriots, they're still freshly removed from their dynasty years. It really only just happened. Manchester City haven't been a dynasty, or Manchester United, I should say, haven't been a dynasty in like over a decade. The Dallas Cowboys haven't been a dynasty since the 90s, so they felt more appropriate. Newcastle. The Magpies. They exist, and they're pretty good sometimes, most of the time. A lot of times you forget they're there, though, because they're not good enough to be in the conversation all year. Every once in a while they'll win a game, and you're like, oh, that's right, they're actually kind of good. But, yeah, no. You don't really think about them. So they're the Indianapolis Colts.
You're right, I don't think about either of those things at any point in my day.
Nottingham Forest, which I don't even know what they're called. Historically bad. Except for like one point in history where they were pretty good and they won a couple of trophies. But historically really bad. And only this year have they been anywhere good. And they're shockingly good. They're like the second or third best team in the league. Which is like, where the fuck did you come from? They're the New York Knicks. Southampton. The Saints. Not the Tottenham Saints, even though they're the Spurs, but they call themselves the Saints.
Oh.
This is the Southampton Saints.
Yeah, they sure are.
They suck. They're the worst team in the league. Every time they're in the Premier League, they are the worst team. I don't know what's in that water in Southampton, but they got to stop drinking it because it's draining their fucking talent. They are so terrible. They're the Browns.
Okay, yeah.
Tottenham. What do we think of Tottenham?
I don't fucking care.
Shit.
I don't.
The Spurs, the Saints. God,
what are they? What ones are they? Are they both? What are they?
I don't know. They're both, I think. They're the Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yes,
Most
that's
of the
what
time
I know
people
them
call
as.
them the Spurs.
Yes.
And then they sing when the Saints come marching in every game.
Yeah, cool, whatever. Doesn't make any sense.
They don't change it to when the Spurs come marching in. They're the Saints.
That's just too creative.
Isn't it just? I will say this, a little detour. British sports fans make fun of American sports chants all the time. And I get it. Defense, defense, or let's go Yankees. I get it. It's not the most creative.
Sorry,
chant.
not every fucking chant can be a poem. We don't have to write fucking War and Peace when we're in the stalls, guys. We can just think of simple things and yell them. Yeah, don't have to make everything into a fucking song.
You do get a lot of songs in English chanting that are creative and clever. Every once in a while, you'll also get one that's, for some reason, horribly racist and no one questions it. Dude, there was a Manchester United player who I think was Korean. Yeah, they definitely sang a song about him with love, weirdly, about him eating dogs, which was so not cool.
Yeah, that's a recurring joke. It's very wonderful and not at all awful.
Not only that, you guys have some of the worst chants I've ever heard in my life. You want to know what one of the most popular chant templates I hear in every soccer game is?
What is it?
Let's go Brentford, let's go Ipswich, let's go Fulham, let's go Leicester, let's go blah, blah. Every game. Every fucking game. And you say that, let's go
every
Yankees.
game they chant for those 6 teams?
Yeah. But it's like, no matter who is playing, they'll use that. The worst one, though? Arsenal. Because you know what they do?
No.
Arsenal. Forever. That's not even a chant.
It transcends into wrestling, too.
Does it?
Yeah, well, there's 2 examples I can think of off the top of my head. It was last night, they were at the O2 doing SmackDown, and as we know, London crowd, London chants, football chants. Jacob Fatu is working over Braun Strowman. The crowd comes up with the genius song, Ole, 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 Fatu, Fatu.
That's it?
That's not even... What the fuck is that even?
What's the connection?
He's Samoan. He's not fucking Hispanic. Why are we doing Ole?
That's so weird. Well, they're all not white, right?
Oh God. No, don't even with this. I was at Royal Quest. This was in London again. Crystal Palace, the venue. And there was like a corner of the audience that was very clearly British wrestling fans. We go to every single show in every single country, every single fucking time they perform anywhere. So they know everything, they have intimate knowledge of everything, and they just love to make everything about themselves. They love to do chants, non-stop, all the time. And granted, some of them were fun. You know, when we were walking up to the venue, me and Ellie, normally you have chaperones there, like yelling at people, telling you like, ticket holders this side, everyone else the other side. You're like, okay, cool. We can hear that as we walk up and we're like, oh, sweet. At least I got crowd control for this. No, it wasn't chaperones. It was actually fans of going to this show chanting at people who were playing soccer beneath us. I'm like, oh no, are they going to be in the venue? They were in the venue, and they wouldn't shut the fuck up all night.
Oh, that sounds fun.
One chant went as follows. What do we think of Sonada? Shit. What do we think of shit? Sonada. Thank you. That's alright. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? What are you talking about?
That's actually a template that Arsenal uses on Tottenham all the time. It's, what do we think of Tottenham? Shit. What do we think of shit? Tottenham. Thank you. That's alright. We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham.
Yes. Replace Tottenham with Sonada, and that was the main event of the evening.
They're so clever.
I was so annoyed by the end of it. I was just like, can you just shut the fuck up and enjoy this Japanese wrestling that they have come over to England to do?
Shit.
Why are you chanting this?
Shit.
Shut the fuck up.
Shit.
I mean, admittedly, it was funny when they started chanting, "You're not even Irish" at David Finlay. That was just fucking brutal.
That's funny. That's actually really good.
But, you know, it's fine when it's at a certain level, but when it's every show and you're just shoehorning in poetry and sing-songs, I'm just like, you can't resist making it all about yourselves, can you? There's this pressure on European crowds to be better than American crowds, and it fucking shows nowadays, because everything is... The French did it right. Because
they were pretty good.
They were loud, they made the cameras shake, and the sing-songy chants they did were the same ones. There weren't just 20 different ones that all meant nothing. And they were actually intrinsically tied to their culture.
Right.
It wasn't just random fucking, what do you think of this shit? What do you think of shit this? I hate that chant so much. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, they put some effort into it.
Finish your fucking team comparisons. I'm getting salty here.
Oh yeah, Tottenham. So shit, they are really bad. But here's the thing: they're also considered one of like the big six, and so just because they're from London, that's it. And so because they have this like illusion of prestige, despite winning like one trophy ever, and they hold on to that for dear life. That's why they're the New York Mets, because no matter what they do, no matter who they hire, no matter who they sign, no matter what formation they put out on the field, the pitch, whatever, they just can't win. They almost look worse every year, despite doing everything seemingly right. So they're the Mets. We only got 2 teams left, don't worry. West Ham, who, by the way, I take issue with West Ham. They're on the east side of London.
Well, that comes down to counties and how they were split. There's an East Ham and a West Ham. They were going to be combined, and they asked
to just be Ham.
No, they asked for residents to come up with a name for their new county name, which was a mistake, because they suggested Ham Sweets Ham. So they just decided to be East and West.
Oh, man. But West Ham, they... Usually, you forget about West Ham. 9 times out of 10, this season, they're not even going to cross your mind. Every once in a while, they show up and they punch the shit out of you, and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? And every once in a while, they'll have a year where it's like, oh shit, we won a trophy. We actually look legit. But the next year, they go right back to being West Ham. They are the Cincinnati Bengals. Our last team, Wolves. They're called Wolves. They're not the Wolves. Because they're Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
They're Wolverhampton. That's why they're the Wolves.
Yeah.
But they're not the Wolves. They're just Wolves. Their nickname is the Wanderers.
Yeah, the Wolverhampton Wanderers, yeah.
Yeah. But they're Wolves. And their logo is a wolf. But they're the Wanderers. It's stupid.
I don't see the problem.
Your name is Wolverhampton. Just be Wolverhampton Wolves. It's in the name. Your logo's a wolf.
You're in Cincinnati. Why not just be the Cincinnati Sins?
But if Cincinnati was instead called Tiger Natty, and then they went, oh, we're the Tiger Natty Tuggers.
That sounds like a fucking supplement. You want to be Tiger Natty?
You want to get jacked in 6 weeks? You got to take Tiger Natty.
Yeah, well, tigers are all natty, you know.
But it's like you're just passing up an opportunity and picking something that makes less sense.
That's just the summary of the thing as a whole, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's also why they are the Timberwolves. Because they're wolves, but they're not, and they suck. The Wolverhampton sucks. And the Minnesota Timberwolves suck. So they fit together like peanut butter and marshmallow fluff.
A fluffernutter.
And that's all I got. I hate fluffernutters. I've never thought they were good. I think marshmallow fluff is disgusting. It doesn't taste like marshmallows.
Whoa, okay. I didn't expect to unearth that by just making that comment.
No, because you know what it was? When I was like in middle school, my dad was like, have you ever had a fluffernutter? And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. What are you talking about? He's like, you take peanut butter and marshmallow spread. And I'm like, what the fuck is marshmallow spread? It's not like a common thing here. Like it exists, but you have to go out of your way to find it. It's never just like in the peanut butter aisle. And so he was like, oh, we got to go to the store. We're going to get marshmallow spread. And I'm going to put it on a sandwich with peanut butter. And I'm like, all right, well, this sounds like a thing. It could be good. He's clearly very excited about it. I took one bite. I thought I was going to die. It's disgusting. I love peanut butter. That stuff sucks. I don't know I don't know how people enjoy that. Because I know I think in the minority on this. A lot of people enjoy that combo. I just don't get it.
I mean, I like both of them separately, so I feel like I would be willing to try it.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't see anything fundamentally wrong with it.
If you like the fluff on its own, then you'll probably enjoy it. But
I love fluff.
Ugh.
Fluff is great.
Ugh.
It makes you feel good when you're just a little bit sad. You just read a little bit of fluff.
Yeah, you know what? I can't even argue with that if that's how you feel. Did you have anything else to bring to the table, or should I start talking about the Beatles?
Oh, fuck the Beatles. I don't want to talk about the Beatles.
That's not going to go on very long, to be fair. I don't have that much to say about them.
You listened to their entire discography.
Yeah, and I don't
Why
have
would
that
you
much
do
to say
this
about
to
them.
yourself?
So here's why. I've recently, in the last like year or so, I've gotten onto this thing of like, I will pick a musical artist or band or whatever, and if it's someone that I'm not that familiar with their work, and I want to be, I'll just go on Apple Music, and I will listen to all their albums in chronological order. And it's been great. I think the first person I did that with was Eminem, where I was like, I love Eminem, but I don't actually know that much of his music. And so I just listened to all of his stuff in order. And I was like, that was a fascinating journey. I feel like I understand him more as an artist now. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I've done it with a ton of bands over the last couple of years. And recently, my younger sister decided to start doing that as well. She started with Kendrick. And because I've become such an obnoxious white person about Kendrick Lamar.
Haven't we all, though?
I'm so awful about Kendrick Lamar now.
Isn't that what 2024
obsessed.
has brought us? Didn't it just turn us all into culture vultures?
Oh, I'm so obsessed with him. I'm like the worst kind of white guy. I'm like, dude, did you know that Kendrick Lamar is actually great? And every black person's like, yeah, welcome to the fucking party.
Anyone who listens to conscious rap is like, yeah, sky's blue, dog. What do you want?
Yeah,
Do you want a medal? Do you want a cookie for realizing this?
And so, I got her on a kick of a few different artists. And then all of a sudden, she, out of nowhere, she was like, I'm going to listen to the Beatles. And I'm like, why? Because our dad listened to the Beatles a lot growing up. And that's not why she wants to listen to it. But we grew up, he was always talking about the Beatles. Because anyone who is around that age who likes the Beatles will always say the same fucking thing. They're the best band ever. And
isn't that a
objectively,
reasonable
yes.
thing to say about your favorite?
You can say they're your favorite, but when you start throwing around objective terms like best, you're gonna draw criticism from autistic people.
Oh, don't I fucking know it? Don't I fucking know everything about that? Don't I?
Yeah.
Except it's not an opinion. They are the best things.
Sure. So, she listened to the Beatles first. And when she was about halfway through, I talked to her on the phone one day, and she was like, I'm losing my goddamn mind. I don't know how anyone likes this band. It fucking sucks. I'm like, what?
Alright, I have to interject at this point. At what point do you just realize that this isn't for you, and you stop, and you instead spend this energy on something that would make you feel better? Why do you subject yourself to doing... Like, who are you proving this point to?
Well, two reasons. One, I just want to see what's going on. I want to see what everyone's talking about. And I want to do that with the most educated opinion possible by listening to it. Legitimately. All of it.
Well, you can
If I
put
put
your
on-
foot into a burning building and realise, oh, this building's on fire, I don't want to be in here. You don't have to spend time in the burning building going up 5 flights of stairs just to listen to Hey Jude. You can just
Now, listen.
decide from like 2 or 3 songs it's not for you and be fine with it, right?
Yes, but again, that's not how my brain works. And also,
It's all or nothing, right?
I knew that there comes a point in their discography where they started taking a shit ton of drugs and their music changes. So I knew that something different was coming.
Let's just skip
So
to
I
that
went into
part.
it. Well, Yes, but I also want to have the experience.
I
because,
want to
again,
be miserable so that when the good things happen, it's better.
Not necessarily that, although it did kind of work out that way.
Wow.
More so like, when this band was actively making music, there were people that did this. Obviously, on a longer stretch of time, they listened to each album as it came out, but people heard all of it. There were people that heard all of it, and they loved it, and they formed an opinion as time went on. So I'm like, let me have the full experience. So the first 6, and yes, 6 albums that the Beatles put out, it's not enough to say that they're bad. They are so formulaic. Because
How
the
long
Beatles
are these
were just
albums? How long are these albums in minutes?
Luckily, they're pretty short. They're about 12 or so songs each. Each song's like 2 minutes. You burn through an album in a half hour. It's really not that bad.
That's still 3 hours.
Yeah, but it was over the course of like a week, and I'd be listening to some songs on my commute to work. Like, it's not like I'm binging this all at once.
I'm not saying I disrespect you or that you're wrong for doing this. I genuinely can't wrap my head around the idea of, like, I'm going to listen to 6 awful albums just to prove a point.
It wasn't to prove a point. There's no point to prove. It was just like
surely after the first 2, you'd be like, nah.
Yeah, yes, and that was what happened. I was like, I hate this. After the first album, I was like,
so
this
then
sucks.
You stop
Because
you don't come on. You don't continue.
But I have to know. I have to know for sure.
But you do. You've had it.
But I don't know
got
what
it
the
in your
next one
hands.
sounds like until I hear it. That's my point.
Let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. Oh, come on. Album number 7's gonna be the one. You're insane.
But the first 6 albums are just so formulaic. Like, every song was, we're doing a little jig about how I love a girl. And then the next song is like, that girl broke my heart. We're doing a little jig. And the next song's like, we're doing a jig about loving a girl. And you just do that forever for 6 albums. And it was like, I really had a moment where I was like, how did people at the time get to the 6th album that still sounded exactly the same and go, yes, I will continue listening to and supporting this band, and I'm gonna buy the 7th album.
There's a lot that I could try and say about that, and I will try to. Number 1, contemporaries. Who else was releasing music at the time of the Beatles to the point where everybody else thought, yeah, this is the good shit? There's also the world climate being what it is culturally.
Yes,
there's
absolutely.
a lot of different moving parts when it comes to that, so there's going to be a lot of different thoughts and opinions about things that we know, because we have the benefits of being in this decade. All of this stuff happened, what was this, the 60s?
Yeah, early 60s too.
Yeah, so this is like 60 years ago.
Oh god.
Entirely different world. Yeah, no internet, barely any phones. People probably still drove horses. It's a different world. So you have that, and then people like what they like. That's one of the most annoying parts about humanity, is that when we like something, we really like it, and we want more of it.
Yeah, that's
even if you think it's garbage. That's why Family Guy has so many seasons. That's why The Simpsons has so many seasons. You can hate this shit, but if enough people really, really want it, it will be made. Especially because it's profitable. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were such a boy band that it was like just totally accepted.
Look at K-pop right now. It's the way to be. If you have to be presenting a product.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Beatles were perhaps one of the earliest examples of this being done.
Yup. To their credit, they took a shit ton of drugs, mostly hallucinogenic, and discovered art. Like, they just were like, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to make new music, and it sounds fucking weird, and it's going to be about weird shit. And we can do that because we're the Beatles. And I respect the shit out of that.
I think a lot of artists get to that point, though. They work the grind, they release the shit that everybody wants to hear, but then they start to do things that they want to do about personal expression and shit.
And I will say that once they did that, I'm pretty sure music had never sounded like that before.
It probably did.
Well, maybe some, but like...
But this is going to be the first major mainstream exposure to it.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of stuff in that later half of their discography. Because it's another like 6 or so albums where they were just like on drugs the whole time. A lot of the stuff in there is very interesting. Now, it's not a lot of stuff that I would download and listen to my free time, but it was much better. Like, there was content to it. Stories were actually taking place in songs instead of just, I like a girl, or a girl doesn't like me. And
See, it's so easy to just write about that because it's so relatable and digestible.
yeah, I don't blame them at all.
Artists
It's just
will
like
make entire careers off of it.
after the 5th album of that same thing over and over, I was like, I'm going to lose my mind.
So then you stop and you move on if you're a normal person.
And then they put out Eleanor Rigby. And like, that's a good song.
How does that one go?
Eleanor Rigby, feeding the ducks by the pool with her shoes or something. I don't know what the fucking lyrics are.
I have no clue what you're on about.
She's really cool.
Did they sound like that?
Yeah, it was just more Liverpudlian.
Right.
I will say this. I am in the minority about this. I know for sure. Ringo Starr was the best Beatle.
That's entirely contrary to what everyone else thinks.
I know, and they're all wrong. Because he was. There is no song in their entire discography better than Octopus's Garden. It is so... Ringo had such a charming style of music. Like, everyone else, John Lennon, like, he was really into, like, the really, like, obscure artistic shit that sometimes went into, like, nightmare territory. I'm pretty sure he was the one that did, like, the sound montages, like Revolution 9, which are just nightmare hellscapes in like, 4-minute audio form.
Well, this makes sense because he was also a nightmarish hellscape of a person. Fuck John Lennon.
Exactly. Paul McCartney was just... he had like some of the weirder concepts, but he always tried to turn it into like a beautiful song, which was like, yeah, a lot of those songs are great.
If slaughterhouses had glass windows, the world would be vegetarian.
George just made good music. He was just a good guitarist.
Okay, now credit where's due. I really like the Hare Krishna song that he did.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
A lot of his music is just great. Ringo, he was like, what if we went underwater and we had a tea party with an octopus?
Thank you, Marge, for your painting. I hung it up on my wall.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
It's fantastic.
He's so charming. Yellow Submarine, it's a simple little ditty. It's so charming. That's the only word I can use to describe Ringo's music. Every song that was like a Ringo song, immediately in my favorites. Like, he just has this way of making a silly, little, fun experience every time. And he loved country music for some reason.
Did you ever see the animated film that they made, Yellow Submarine?
No, it's on my list.
Yeah, that's a weird one, dude.
You've seen it?
When I was a kid, my dad put it on, and I was upset by it. I didn't really like it a lot, because I was expecting a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting SpongeBob, and then I got whatever the fuck that is.
I hear it's odd.
I was upset. I was a little bit teary, I think, at points, because I was like, I don't want to be here watching this. That's what I mean when you're a kid. You have no agency. It's just like, oh, your dad just put on this film. Okay, I guess I'm watching this film now. I can't go anywhere else. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Was it, like, scary?
For me, at points, yes. I think there was a part where their heads grew bigger. And also their accents scared me. The way they talked, like, freaked me out. Because I wasn't familiar with the accent.
With the Scouse accent?
Yeah, it freaked me out.
I will say... people in England seem to hate the Scouse accent. I don't understand it because I actually kind of love it.
It's about perspectives and what you're raised with, I suppose.
Like, I saw this video of, like, a man on the street interviewing just random people. And he went up to someone, I guess in Liverpool or that area, and he was like, hey, what's your go-to first date? And they were like, oh, Nando's. And they were like, oh, what do you get at Nando's? What's your go-to order? Butterfly chicken. I'm like, that's great.
Sounds like my
There's
kind
so
of
much
guy.
passion in how they talk.
That might have just been that one guy, to be fair. I think
No,
anyone
I've
else
heard
would
a
have been
few
kind of
Liverpudlians.
reserved.
The other thing about watching soccer is you hear a lot of Liverpudlians on television being like, oh, Liverpool is so good. Jamie Carragher sounds exactly like that fucking guy. Talking about his butterfly chicken.
Everyone from one place often does sound the same, I will admit.
But yeah, so that's my whole thing with the Beatles is like the later stuff, I totally get it. It's artistic, it's creative, it was different. You're not going to find anything like it at the time anyway. But oh my God, we got to chill out because we all forget half their shit sucks. And not like the whole later 6 albums were all amazing. There was still the occasional song in there that sounded like old Beatles, and I was getting fucking PTSD flashbacks. And I was like, oh my God, some people never change. And then you get to fucking Maxwell Silverhammer and it's like, all right, calm down. But I gotta say, anyone who says the Beatles are the best, go fuck yourself. It's a lie.
I think it's great if you think that the Beatles are the best band, because that means you've only ever listened to the Beatles, and there's a whole world of music out there that's better, that's waiting for you to consume.
It's all uphill from here.
Exactly.
I also listen to Tyler, the Creator. He's way better.
Oh, I listened to half of one of his songs recently. I thought it was good.
Half of one of his songs?
Mate, the spoon drawer is empty.
Fair enough.
I'm dedicating my time to reading more lately.
That's probably healthier anyway.
I don't know about healthy, but it's something different. I'm sick of scrolling on my phone for hours. I'm sick of playing video games that I've played 100 times before. I think nostalgia is a poison because it restricts you from doing things that are for the betterment of your present day, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm reading things like Plato, I'm reading Stoicism, I'm reading philosophy, I'm starting to want to go to a library and see what books they have. I'm getting recommendations from friends about books that they've read.
There you go. That sounds
yeah,
very good for you.
I'm kind of done with the internet. I mean, it's
I
great,
think that's probably
but there's a lot of bad with it right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's so like just this endless stream of shit getting shoved in your brain that it just cannot possibly be good for you.
The dopamine is now gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that everything is now you have to fucking triple guess whether it's made with AI or not.
Yeah, that's a fun time we're living in where everything could be fake.
I don't
Nothing's
want to
real.
be that guy who's all high and mighty and preachy about it because I'm no better than anybody else, but generative AI is perhaps the worst thing to enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole, when it comes to artists, the ethical side of it and all that, but whatever. I don't want to get into all that right now. It's annoying.
There's nothing good about it?
No.
Name me
It's
one
all
good
bad.
thing about it.
Like, I've never seen an AI piece of art or music or anything and been like, oh, that was actually really cool.
Number
Like,
one,
it's always been terrible.
you can immediately tell that it's AI.
Yes.
Because it's not good. It's just not. People will
Basically.
present you with these melting wax figures and are like, oh, this is the future of movies. You won't even have to make a film anymore. You can just type in a fucking sentence and it shits out a fucking horrific looking Play-Doh monster of a scene. And you're like, oh, this is the future of fucking humanity. It's like, well, fuck you. First of all, it looks like shit. Number two, the actual environmental impacts of generative AI are horrifyingly bad.
Yep.
We're probably all going to be confined to the mines eventually, trying to find metal to run these generators of shitting out these horrible pictures of cats with
Yes.
3 legs. It's absolutely terrible for the environment. There's also the ethics side of it. Art is meant to be made with a soul. There's meant to be something there. Any piece of art is a reflection of the person who made it. If the person didn't make it, it's empty, it's hollow, it's ugly, it's shit, it's terrible. I don't care what you use it for. If you use it for films, if you use it for art, if you use it for shitposting, if you use it to make funny, quote-unquote, memes, they're not funny. I hate looking at them. Stop it. You're harming the planet, you're harming the human race, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say these fucking things.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's pretty fucking bad.
Been sitting on that one too lately, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Look, I made Steve Harvey talk about relationship advice. No one cares.
But no, I'm sick of breathing in vape farts. I'm sick of seeing AI shit on my feed everywhere I go. I'm sick of people being rude for everything for no reason at all. This is why I'm in therapy, guys. Like, this world fucking sucks, and I'm tired of it. So this is why I'm looking to ancient history to try and figure out a way to survive in present day.
It's been a fun couple of years.
And it's been without us. That's why. If we just continued making content, we'd all be happier.
Everything would be better if Bitter Chatter had stuck. We vanished like the Avatar, and then the world went into disarray.
You're not even wrong. It's just what it is. It's where we're at. It's what you make of it.
Yeah. But, you know, we're still here, doing our thing.
We are.
Kicking rocks. Did we have anything else to cover?
I think I've got everything off my chest.
I think I did as well. Yeah, again, we have no idea if this is going to be a thing that's happening again. As of right now, it's just this.
Bitter Chatter was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, it's been some of the most fun. That was like a pillar during the pandemic. It was like having that as like a fallback.
Yeah, it did stop.
Not going crazy.
Wow, crazy.
And then the world opened up again, and I didn't like it. Not one bit.
No. Now, granted, it wasn't a perfect show.
It's actually been worse.
There was definitely some missteps with what we did.
Yes.
You know, the amount of times I think back and I think, man, I should have just put The Incredibles over Beauty and the Beast. And then everything would have been fine.
I'm like, yo, did Twin Peaks really need to win?
What other than JoJo's?
Imagine the world if JoJo's had won that tournament. How different would it be?
No, I still maintain that Twin Peaks is some of the best television to have ever been made.
You know, it's funny. My sister was talking to me like after that episode first came out, and she was like, yeah, you know, I know you've said maybe check out Twin Peaks. Listening to you two talk about it made it sound terrible.
What the fuck?
We clearly didn't do a very good job, because we were like, yeah, but you know, there's so many issues with it. Like, we just kept waffling on it the whole time, and then we picked it as best show, which just sounded so inconsistent. And it was like, yeah, I guess we did talk about a lot of the negatives more than the positives, and then we picked it as best show.
What negatives? What are you talking about? It's a perfect show.
I don't remember now, but I know we definitely brought up a lot. I remember it at the time, too. I was like, man, we are really shitting on this.
I mean, it's just our opinions.
Yeah.
They're correct.
That's why it's the best show.
But it's just opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think The Amazing World of Gumball is the best TV show ever made, then great, good for you. I want to live in your brain for a day. But no, I live in my shitty fucking brain, where Twin Peaks is the best TV show ever.
Yeah, it's just the theme is playing in your head constantly.
It is. It is.
Dun, dun.
Don't mock it. Don't mock the theme, you dick.
I wasn't mocking it. That's my impression of it.
It's bad.
It's a low note.
Don't do it. It's terrible.
I gotta rewatch it.
You should finish watching it first before you rewatch it.
Well, that's the thing. I can't watch season 3 right now. I don't remember anything.
You know what? I've also moved on from the business of recommendations.
Well, yeah, it's impossible to recommend stuff to autistic people. It's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way 15,000 times, because you want to share these things, but the brain just doesn't work that way for us. It's like,
yeah,
it's on my list, but if I don't get the itch, it's just never going to happen.
Yeah, that really is the reality. We'll get to it when we get to it. If we never get to it, you can't hate me. You're not allowed.
Yeah. My brain just never itched that way, and there's nothing I can do about it.
In terms of forgiveness, I forgive you for never ever wanting to play Resident Evil 4 after you failed the first mission.
You know what it is? I just don't like shooters.
You could have told me that before.
Well, I didn't really know.
What do you mean you didn't know? It's Resident Evil. Shooter game. Bing bang. Boom bop.
But not that I didn't know it was a shooter. I didn't really know how I felt about shooters until I was like playing it. I was like, oh, it's gun again. I think I don't like this.
It's just one of the best games ever made.
I don't doubt that. It's quality. It's just not quality I can get into.
Sorry, not everything can be Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
It's not my fault that's the best game.
Clearly.
But yeah, I think that's all we got here. So thank you for joining us on our reunion, our 2-year reunion.
Bit of Chatter's high school reunion.
Oh my god, we don't know when this will happen again, if ever. If not, it's been a pleasure talking to all of you.
What a bookend this is.
The
one that the show deserves.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, we could get to a point where this is possible on a regular basis again. It might not even be that long from now. Who knows? I have no idea. But for now, we got this. It's good. I like it. It's been fun. Hope you feel the same way.
And now it's your turn.
All Mike pointing at
I'm pointing at my mic now. It's your turn to make a show. Make the show that you want to exist, alright? If we can't make it, you should.
Inherit our will and carry on the legacy.
No, don't do that. It's a bad idea. Don't do that at all.
No, you don't want this.
No,
you don't want this.
This is a curse.
You should have a very different will of your own that is much brighter.
Yeah, you should aim higher.
Don't try to be famous on the internet.
It's a bad idea.
It's not good. It doesn't work for anybody except for 3 people ever.
Smosh. And who?
The Game Grumps.
Yeah. And Dan and Phil. That's it. Those are the 3. There's no one else.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Who else is really sustained on the internet?
Weirdly, us.
I guess, in a way, yeah.
We are still doing this, aren't we?
Section. Yeah.
Even if it's only just for us, we're still doing it.
Which is the whole point of this. Which I think is great.
That's a beautiful way to end it, I think.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah,
we'll
fuck
talk
off.
To you, maybe.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Get out. We're done.
Okay.
Kicking you out. This'll make you never want another episode again. I hate you. And I hate everything you like. Get out of my house.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much the vibe, isn't it?
Yeah. Who are you?
Bye, everyone. Get the fuck out.
Leave.
I love you. Fuck off.
Goodbye, I hate you.
That's the name of the episode, I think.
Yeah, that is it. Wow. What the fuck?
That was fun.
Yeah, that was.
It sound right, boy.